What is up, everybody? It's your boy Travis here from PPG, and today I'm going to be doing my Momo Yaoyorozu 1 deck profile. This is the deck that I used to top 16 the OCE regional that was online. I only lost to the champion Zach Pasley, who was playing Ojiro Under Earth, the most broken character in the format, as you guys may know. Hopefully that guy gets hit. But anyways, I ended up in 9th place. I really enjoyed this deck. I'm playing under the good symbol, and without further ado, let's get into it. So I'm going to start with the heart and soul of the deck, which is assets. So I played 1 copy of Coda. Coda says response after you completely block an attack, your opponent's next check to play a card gets -2. Failing this check does not end the combat phase. And then enhance, lose a health. Your low or water attack gets +1 speed. And then if you ever take 6 or more damage from an attack, he destroys himself. Momo is really good at protecting him because she gives -2 speed on her face and she can pick up a block. So most of the time you won't end up taking 6 or more damage from an attack. 1 copy of Training Weights. Training Weight says enhance, commit 1 foundation, ready this asset. And then enhance, discard a momentum, ready this asset. Enhance, commit. This attack gets +1 damage for each time you've used this ability this combat phase. So basically, this just makes all of your attacks really big because this is a long string deck, so you gotta use this multiple times, and you just kill them. The centerpiece of the asset slot, quick creation, got our character's face on it. This card says enhance, commit, add the top card of your discard pile to your card pool. This attack gets +2 or -2 damage. So you get to do a lot of cool stuff with like your assets being on top, so you can build them with Momo, your weapon foundations, all that kind of stuff. A lot of really neat combos. And then the Deadlock first enhance says enhance, commit, double your weapon attack speed and damage. So one of the ways that you can try to beat Momo is trying to go to Deadlock against her, so you can play a really long string to make sure that she dies. And this card just kind of punishes you super hard for doing that, so it's very good. Last asset, we played 6 of them in total. Earphone Jack. This card says response after you play an attack, discard the top card of your opponent's deck. If the attack was a charge attack, it gets +1 speed. So it's important to note that it doesn't have to be a charge attack for you to mill them, so you want to push this button if this is on your board every time you play an attack, because I'm not going to lie, milling someone out with this deck is a perfectly viable strategy, especially these Ojiro decks that are drawing all the cards, cycling their foundations, doing all that kind of stuff. They mill out super fast if you can defend against their kill turns. Onto the attacks. I played 4 Invisible Infiltration. This card is a 4/3/5 that says enhance, this attack gets +1 damage for each 4 foundations in your rival stage, and then enhance, remove 1 foundation from either player's stage. After this attack resolves, put that foundation back, basically. So it's a blink effect, and it puts it back face up, which is important. So you can use this to blink like passing the torch, anything that was relevant that your opponent flipped with, like a seizing the advantage or apathetic or anything along those lines. It's important to note that if you blink out an asset, I don't believe it will come back because it technically is not a foundation once it hits the RFG. And this card specifically says foundation. I played 4 Hardened Jab. So this deck plays 4 copies of Precious Lesson, and we build a lot of face downs. And we also play Mail Bonding, which builds random face downs as well. So a lot of the time we can use this to pick up our attacks. This card says enhance, add 1 face down foundation from your stage to your hand, and then build the top card of your deck face down. So very, very good. Also just a 1 high block, which is a very good and important block mod. I played, not this yet, I played 4 Back Alley Haymaker. This card is crazy. It's probably the best attack in the format. by far. It's a 5-diff 4 mid 5 with charge, EX2, punch, stun 2 that says enhance, draw 1 card, or build 1 foundation with a printed difficulty of 0 from your discard pile. So this card just nets you so much advantage. It's crazy as your first attack, and it's also crazy as like your 5th attack trying to kill someone with it, due to the fact that it has EX2 and stun 2. So if you can surprise them with the stun 2, it might just kill them. And then it builds relevant 0 diffs from our discard pile and is a good poke. To create bow staff. So this card is a 4-diff 4 mid 4 that says add an asset or weapon foundation from your discard pile to your card pool or your hand. So with Momo, if you add it to your card pool, then you can use her enhance to destroy and build it down afterwards. Or you could also just add it to your hand. But being able to tutor the assets that Momo can't tutor, which are training weights and Kota, is very good with this card. So I'm a big fan. 3 command pigeon flock. So we are on a bit of a small ally package. This card is a 5-diff 4 high 5 ally range that says enhance, build 1 ally foundation from your discard pile. And then it also has a momentum, a discard of momentum enhance to get +1 damage for each ally card in your card pool, which never really came up at all, but it could. And then we played 2 Cannon Blasts. This is our main kill turn tutor target. It's a 5-diff 4 high 5 with charge ranged weapon that says enhance, commit 1 foundation. This attack gets +1 speed and +2 damage. And then enhance, commit 2 foundations. This attack gets +2 speed and +4 damage. So this thing just gets really massive out of nowhere, and it kills your opponent. Because sometimes you just throw 2 of these and it's like, yep, catch this 9 high for 11 and then another 9 high for 11. And any other damage pumps you have on board just makes that even better. 2 copies of Final Smash. This card is a 6-diff kind of. It has a static that says if your rival has 8 or more foundations, this attack gets -2 difficulty. And then it's a 5 high 6 that also says enhance, add 1 card from your discard pile to the top of your deck. So honestly, one of these should have been a 4th copy of Command Pigeon Flock. If I was going to rebuild this deck, I would make that change. Just turn this into another Pigeon Flock. This card is only really good when you have Passing the Torch on board because it's essentially an extra tutor or a copy of Momo's once per turn, as long as you have some way to draw the card you stacked. Onto the foundations. We'll start with the low difficulty stuff. I played 4 It Can't Be Fixed. This is a 0-5 with a 1 high block that says response flip. After you commit any number of foundations due to your rival's effect, you build the top card of your deck face down, and then it's playable while committed. This is just one of the best spam in the format. It's anti-stun and one of the best ways to kill your opponent in this format, and honestly any format. Stun them out, make sure they can't interact with you, and then delete them. 3 copies of You're Finished. So this card says enhance flip. If the top card of your discard pile is a copy of this attack, you draw a card. So this has a lot of implications with building random stuff off the top of your deck face down, and then like if it's a copy of this attack, you can destroy it with Momo's +2 speed or -2 speed enhance, and then enhance flip it, draw a card. And then it also has an insane deadlock enhance that says commit 1 rival foundation. This came up quite a few times. My opponent would go to deadlock because they had to, like they just didn't have enough to kill me, and throwing out an attack was useless because it let me sculpt more. And so they just had to build, and then they went to deadlock, and they just like couldn't play anymore because I tapped whatever their best foundation was every turn cycle. 1 copy of Recovery Girl's Kiss. So this is to make our back alley haymakers essentially have the enhance, build a face down foundation, and gain 1 health, which is pretty good considering our Rising Starlets also gain us 1 health. This is just a 0 diff with a 5 check that says enhance gain health, or flip it gain health. Onto the 1-diffs. I play 4 Precious Lesson. Mandatory. You cannot play any less of this card in this character. This card is absurd. It is 2 foundations. Just response flip after you destroy or remove one of your foundations. So after you hit either of your Momo buttons, you get to build the top card of your deck face down on a 1-diff spam. Actually absurd. And are essentially 4 more copies of Precious Lesson. We have small number. So this says after we press either of our Momo buttons, we get to respond and ready them. And it's a 1-diff, 4-check. It also has a randomly relevant enhance that says enhance commit. Your charge, fury, or kick attack gets +1/+1. And Cannon Blast is a charge attack, and so is Back Alley. So it's just very good. 3 copies of Mail Bonding. This is essentially Precious Lesson, but for when you take unblocked damage. And it is also buildable off of Command Pigeon Flock. It says response flip after you take damage from an unblocked attack, you build the top card of your deck face down on a 1-diff spam. Not an amazing block, that's fine. You have to think of Momo like giving all of your blocks -2 to their block mod, so. 3 copies of Manly Passionate Guy. A lot of this deck's blocks already kind of build themselves for when you're like actually blocking things that matter, because you're blocking you're blocking with your weapon cards. So normally you don't need 4 copies of this, but you do have a bunch of key foundations that you cannot build with your character that you would like to build, so having 3 of this is perfectly acceptable. 1, preparing for battle. In my opinion, you don't need more than 1 of this card. You'll check it eventually. This deck's games go very long, so it's not uncommon to see your entire deck. Plus, you see a crazy amount of cards because you're the good symbol, you have a lot of draw, you build a lot of random foundations. So getting this into your discard pile is just really easy. 4, Specialist of Sound. Specialist is really, really good in this format, just because, like, having burst speed hate is really strong into a character like Ojiro, who just puts a lot of speed on his attacks and makes it really hard for you to block. So like this being commit from -3 speed, blow it up with Momo from -2 more speed, you just -5 speed their attack. Like, it's so easy to block that now. And then it also says response. After you check it, you can reveal the top card of your deck, which is relevant. It gives you information on what you should be doing and like what plays you should be making. The most broken foundation. Just, this card's absurd. New training method, 2/4. Response, after you build this card, you build a foundation from your hand committed. And then response, commit, flip, after you check a foundation, add it to your hand. This card gets you absurd amounts of card advantage and board advantage. The amount of times where I've like built 6 on turn 1 because I had this card in my hand and just like held a card in my hand going second, well, it was just absurd. And like the amount of tempo that you get from doing that while playing this card is just also crazy. You can also like play Invisible Infiltration. If you check a foundation, you commit flip to pick up the foundation and then you blink it out with Invisible Infiltration, or you pick it up with a Hardened Jab, just to get infinite advantage. 3, Passing the Torch. This deck doesn't really need 4. This deck already gets enough card advantage. Our character gives us advantage. New training method gives us advantage. Back Alley, Hardened Jab. Like, all of our cards already kind of go 1 for 1, so we don't need more pluses. 3 of going out to fight some villains. This card is just your like 5th, 6th, and 7th copy of Specialist of Sound. It's a 2-diff 5-check ally that says enhance, good enhance. Flip your rival's chaos, death, or evil attack gets -2 damage, and then enhance flip. If this attack's speed is greater than its printed speed, it gets -3 speed. and almost every deck that's like real in the format is putting speed on stuff, so having flip -3 speed that you can build off of Command Pigeon Flock is very good. 3 Rising Starlet. So Rising Starlet is a 2/5 weapon. Response after you build this card, gain a health, and then enhance your attack, flip, build 1 weapon asset or weapon foundation from your card pool face up. So this can build your weapon assets like it says, so like Earphone Jack and Quick Create. It can also build itself. This card's just crazy. And it gains you a health when you build it, so like being able to block with this, not take damage from their attack, and then next attack Momo -2 speed, build it down, gain 1 health, or even like Quick Create, add it to your card pool by committing this for -2 damage, and then blow up a foundation to build it down, gain a health, so it's like you -3 damage their attack and got a free ready foundation. Card's crazy. That being said, you don't really need it more than a 3 of, in my personal opinion, because it can break. Because on its own, it's just a blank foundation. Like, it doesn't really do anything. I don't want to see this card on turn 1. I want to see this card on, like, turn 2, usually. 2 copies of One with Nature. Honestly, this probably should have been a 3 of, because this card really helps you kill people. This card is absurd. Enhance, discard a card, this attack, or your rival's block mod to block this attack gets +2, and then response once per enhanced step, after you discard a card, your attack gets +1 damage. And that stacks for each one you have, so if you have 2 of them, you just get to respond twice to give a damage. So you're just giving 2 damage every time you discard, so it's essentially discard to give +2 speed, asterisk +2 damage, because +2 to block mod. The worst card in the deck. This card should have been like any 2 other foundations. So the logic for it was you can commit it to training weights for free, or you can commit it to Cannon Blast, but like this never came up, and almost never came up. And like honestly, Small Limber is just better. Just a better card. So if I were to like change this, I would turn this into another of the 3-diff All Might Foundation, and then probably another One with Nature. Onto some 1-ofs, or onto a 1-of, I should say. So Manly. So Manly is a 2/5 unique that says response flip after you are dealt damage by an unblocked attack. You have your opponent add the top card of their discard pile to their card pool face up. So basically this just discourages them from like attacking you further because it's permanent breaker 1 for the rest of their turn. And then you can pick it up with like Hardened Jab, or blink it out with Invisible Infiltration. Raiding the Villain Hideout. This card is insane in Momo. This card just does like everything. It's enhance. It's a 3-5 check with enhance, flip. Your checks to play blocks get +1 for the rest of the turn. And then it's an ally as well, so you can build it. And it also has another relevant line of card decks that says enhance, discard a card. Your good attack gets +2 damage. So this with One with Nature, you're enhancing to discard for like when you don't need the speed because your character already gives 2 speed, to give +2 damage, and then +1 for every One with Nature you have. So that just kills people. That's like an absurd amount of damage. And then being able in your defensive character to give +1 to all of your blocks for the rest of the turn, which is essentially -1 speed to all your opponent's attacks, is crazy. And then since it's an ally, you can build it off Pigeon Flock. Onto the sideboard. I played 2 copies of Cheerleader. Honestly, my sideboard was kind of underprepared. I think this card was fine though. Like, it did work against Odro a little bit. Honestly, my entire sideboard is just tech for that matchup because that was the only character I was really worried about. I think this deck beats like everything else. 2 Taiyaki Fanatic. This is just a cancel Student of the Art, and then it has a relevant Deadlock Enhance. 3 Sense of Justice. Sense of Justice is a 2/5 that says enhance commit. Name a keyword your rival's attack gets -X speed or -X damage, where X is the number of cards they have with that keyword in their card pool, or the number of attacks they have with that keyword in their card pool. Which is just very good against Ojiro because they play all punches, or at least the best list for the deck plays all punches. Before I forget, Kayaki just says response, destroy after your rival plays an ability on a foundation or asset, you cancel it, so cancel student of the art. And then it says deadlock, enhance your opponent discards a card. And then Cheerleader says response, remove discard of momentum after an attack is played against Flash, which pretty good against Ojiro. Just flash whatever they're trying to pick up on. And then it has a Hagakure form, but we're not playing the character, so that doesn't matter. Last card, 3 Lost in Thought. Lost in Thought was absurd. This card is crazy. You basically, so it's a 2/4 that says enhance remove, add 1 foundation from each player's stage to their hand, and then both players build 1 card from their hand face down. So now normally I'm sure you're thinking, man, this card, there's no way this card's good. This card makes you go negative on a foundation. But it technically doesn't if you bounce a committed foundation of your own and then reset it as a ready foundation. You technically go even, and then you're hitting your opponent's best foundation in the exchange. And they don't even, like, get to rebuild it. Like, they can build it on their next turn, but they don't get to build it back face up. It comes in face down. So, card is just cracked. Alright. Anyways, thanks everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that kind of cool stuff. You guys will be seeing more from me in the near future because I, as of date of recording, just topped an event, the Florida RLE, playing Recovery Girl. It's a very spicy list. I'll be getting that to you guys ASAP. Yet again, thanks for watching. This has been Travis from PPG, signing out.